Well, we have been asked to change, and we're asking for change in return. You know, we were promised hope and change, and now it's time to be the change. So they're upset about the dirty camps in the woods, and so are we. So the point is, we're all Earthlings. I mean, we're all in this together. So I figure if we can address all of their concerns, then we can ask for what they promised. So on my sign, I put that this is an Earth problem for all Earthlings. And I got that from Wookiefoot. Thanks, guys. I've been to a festival called Project Earth, and every year all of the money is donated to whatever project they do. What I remember the most, they went to Burma and decreased the mortality rate of babies there. And so, you know, the big party night, you know, they show us the video of what they did that year with the money from last year. At this point, we don't need money. There is so much waste in this country. So much. I was always taught that waste is a sin. I got made so, like, to eat my vegetables, my mom would say, "There's a party in your tummy, and these last little peas will be so lonely if they don't get to go." Oh, you're talking about the legislative aspect of it.
Like how to...
Let me finish talking about what we're going to do. I want to clean up the city first. While we're picking up everybody else's trash, maybe the people that left it in the woods will have time to pick up theirs, and if they don't, then I will. I just don't know where they are yet. I don't go in the woods alone. I hear there are cougars. I'm a crazy cat later, but not that crazy. So, on Monday, I will go to Scott Lee and the county commissioners and ask to be put on the agenda to change the overnight parking ordinance to have a certain set amount of days so that Costco, Safeway, and Walmart can serve their customers better. I'm asking for the county to remove the woods camping ban with the notion that the fire department will come out to every camp that wants to stay and teach them proper fire safety and provide them with a fire extinguisher. They also must have a telephone in case it gets out of hand. They need to be taught how to use proper outdoor cooking. Get their fire permit. Their outdoor cooking permit is $50. Lasts for like 2 years. But they need to be provided basic sanitation so they can dump their poop buckets. Now, if you haven't heard of it, check out the UNICEF video from India, Take Your Poo to the Loo. And maybe we won't have people pooping in storefronts. When I first started cleaning up here, there were 2 recycling bins and a dumpster there. I'm not sure why they were there. But we filled that garbage can, and I have a big black bag for when that gets full. In this town, recycling is free because they sell it. And garbage cost me $12.88 a month. That includes glass recycling now and yard waste.
Is it necessary to have an address?
Yes. Or a business name. Now the city, this is city property, so they must have paid for it. Power. There are power junction boxes back here, but they were broken into, so the city turned the power off. Well, hell, I get that. Power's expensive. Water's expensive here. Most I've ever paid anywhere my whole life, every 2 months, just to be hooked up, it's like $90. And I get that. I mean, I can imagine what the pipes look like. You know? And so we try to conserve and collect rainwater, and I hear in some places that's illegal. I'd like the federal government to change that. You know, when they push that bill, and I sure hope they do, push it across our wonderful President Trump's table. And I do enjoy everything from Saturday Night Live. Mr. Trump, keep tweeting, please. But I would appreciate it if you would start reading some of ours. I want you to pick 5 people. Start reading their tweets. Just citizens, man. Randos. And
Do you have any particular ones to follow?
I don't know, man. It's a good Wookiefoot lyric. So please don't walk behind me, 'cause I really shouldn't lose you. But don't walk too far ahead, 'cause it's hard to follow. Let's just walk side by side. Everything's gonna be alright. Come on, man. Pick up a broom. Stop throwing your butts. I went out to assess the garbage in the city today. It's pretty funny, actually. I'm gonna go take a bunch of pictures. I found one of those joint containers next to a mini Snickers wrapper.
Look, he's all nice and tucked in.
Oh, what a good guy there. Yes, very good. That's our mayor, Roy. Give the governor a harumph. But no, he's the mayor. Give the mayor a harumph. And, I'm not trying to create a government or start a movement. I'm just trying to get people to change their own lives. I mean, every being in the universe knows right from wrong. Don't you feel bad sometimes? Do you just walk away? Life is not fair, but it should be just. And when I see something that is unjust, and I have the power to do something about it, I can't sleep at night unless I do. I heard on NPR that makes me an altruist, and that I'm hardwired to help people until I have nothing left. I've still got quite a bit left. Yeah, on both sides, I think.
So,
But the thing is, it's not a dichotomy, man. We're all in this together. Yes, I think that we need everyone. Not just these people, man. We're just people. We're just trying to clean up. We are a great place for a pilot program. I've seen many. Denver, from Wisconsin, man. We house up in the winter. You don't get a choice. And
yeah,
my uncle was homeless in Denver for a long time, and I go visit him now. He's in a housing project made by the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless. And they've been great people. He's a deaf guy. Hi, Uncle Pat. No, during the day, actually, Cindy Price volunteered to contact each and every homeless person to make sure they were housed up for the winter. And Mr. Lee, county commissioner, runs the bike shop, and I'll go there to get my bike work done. Maybe we should write the resource list, like us here, because we know it. I mean, we use it. We know where the showers are. We know where the bathrooms are. We know where the cheapest food is. We know where all the cool places to hang out are. Sure. I mean, they're pretty collaborated with me. When I ask them, to help me out, they usually do. When I need a hug, they give it to me. I am. My dad taught me all about what I'm doing, and my mom is really mad at me right now for not being at home.
And where's home?
I live over by the bridge. I need to make sure I show her some pictures now that things have
What do you got over here, Don?
developed. Food?
What?
We've got pears, oranges, apples.
I love pears.
And that's one of the things that I'm really impressed with, is everybody's got a skill. Almost everybody here. And I sing. So in front of my tent, I wrote songs for $1. I watched something by Amanda Palmer called The Art of Asking. And for a long time, she was a performance artist, and her performance was that she would stand there with a rose and just be still until someone walked by, and then she would hand them the rose. And the person would be like, "You noticed me? No one ever notices me." But she'd get all the other comments too. "Get a job!" She'd be like, "But this is my job." Well, it's the opposite of love, is indifference. It's not hate. Hate is just another form of passion. But there's 3 sides to every coin. The tails, heads, and the edge. And the 4th choice, of course, is to not spend the coin, boycott, spend it somewhere else. So when I learned that, it was actually taught to me in ethics. And they said there's 3 ways to kill a person. There's make them do it themselves, convince someone else to do it, or do it yourself. And then I heard the Wookiefoot song, Third Side of the Coin, and I was like, well, that's what it means. Okay, it's not super depressing and dark, and I managed to lift myself up out of that circle of negativity. Basically every human is a hedonist. We all are all about pleasure. I mean, survival of the fittest. And Maria's coming here with puppy food.
Well, actually, I ran out.
Oh,
Oh,
we
I
had a
was
lady
thinking-
deliver a huge bucket of, do you need some more? Well, I just told you. All those things. Oh, except for the one about Thomas Hobbes. He said, state of nature, which is kind of what we're in now. And then to make a society, you have to have enough. Make enough. Share and don't waste. So we have the two. We just need the third. People are sharing. That's how we live. I mean, we live on the excess. Because there's so much of it. It's going to take their friends and family who've been there. And not always. Some people are altruists and just can't help themselves. And I listened to the stupid NPR show, and everybody kept telling me, you're spreading yourself too thin. Like, I'll apply myself more liberally then. And they said, no, you're too abrasive. I said, oh, shit. I know exactly what they mean. They said, calm down. I just have to learn to say it nicer and maybe repeat myself a lot in different ways. So reiterating is important. It's like teaching someone who is not a sponge. Because children pick it up, just like that. Yep. Anyway, I went over to the Legion today, our neighbors, and wanted to join because my mama was the first of the all-female crew in the Navy in San Diego in '78. And I need to go home here in a few minutes because she's like totally yelling at me. Which I deserve. And they said, here's your application, get out of here, we're playing bingo. What you're doing has to stop, it's against the ordinance. So much trash. Yep. That's what they said. And I went around polling today to see what everybody's biggest issue was, and the biggest issue was trash. So I went and I took bags and walked off my anger. It hurt. Try to put my pain to some good use. And so I asked myself, who are the litter bugs? There are people that eat at Arby's, people that smoke weed, people that smoke cigarettes. They're just people who've gotten lazy. Happens. So my march on Monday. I have to get a $25 permit in order to occupy the streets and sidewalks. We had somebody come through camp last night, let out a cat, steal our battery-operated radio, and the broom's missing. So I went over to Deals Only and bought 2 more. On Monday, I'm going to get that permit in the morning. I'm not sure which day to march yet. I don't know what their rules are. Come on, bring a broom. Leave your bats, your guns, your knives at home today. Bring brooms and bags. Buckets of soapy water. I'm sick of the piss smell too, aren't you? There was a city park. We had to be out by 10, and they didn't figure it out until Chief Spaulding said, well, this has to, until the article came out, and then they said, we have to put a stop to this. So basically my biggest problem was I didn't know local laws, and I should have set up in a parking lot, not a park. Another thing was that some of the people that were there could not stop drinking out of open containers. When the cops came by and said, just pour it in glasses, 90% of them did, but the other 10% made us look bad. Which I find is extremely true in any economic class. I wrote a letter to the editor that has not been printed yet. I intend to go to the city meeting on the 5th and possibly read it. Just depends on what happens. But I'm hoping lots of people will come to that meeting. Talked to John Nordquist. He's one of the people up at the camps that the whole thing is about. I got an email back from Cindy Price. She says it's only about the people up on up off Irving, which makes a lot of sense when you look at the infrastructure of what happened. Somebody, Jack, Chip Fisher, stole some things from the neighbors, not only his neighbors in tents, but the neighbors in houses, and they complained to the city. So taxpayers complained to the city. The city says, well, what are we going to do about it? We talk to the cops. The cops say, well, this is what's happening. The city takes that information and says, we're going to make a new law. Well, the city's trying to be a mediator and make everybody happy. They don't want to hurt anybody, but they need the people that pay them to be happy first, which I understand. You know, bureaucracy, whatever. I went to business school. Certain things have to work certain ways. There are garbage camps everywhere. I've picked up a couple now. They provided dumpsters like I asked. And I think they were probably going to do that anyway. Maybe. I don't know what the cops' plan was when they went into this. I don't think they thought it would end up like this. I think they were expecting to deliver the notices and then just let everybody stay till spring and deal with the problem people. Well, when I was just little and angry, which I'm still very little and emotional, I couldn't wait anymore. I was angry, and I just said, well, what do you do when you're pissed off at your government? When you protest. Well, that was skewed by the local media. And I hope Katie Frankowitz didn't mean to skew it, but she needs to make it sound good for the people that actually buy the paper and read it. So I understand why she wrote the way she wrote. I also wrote an article recently about a Scandinavian heritage park here. As a Scandinavian woman, I don't like the idea. I want you to leave my grass and trees. And I'll be at all city meetings to say that too. You spend $1 million on a park? Really? Seriously. I'd like you to spend $900,000 on building affordable housing with Scandinavian flags and beautiful Scandinavian names on the front of the buildings. I like flags here too, but leave us the grass and the trees. And in the paper, when they talked about it, the park that's rarely used except for by filling empty bellies, they made it sound like that what we're doing here 6 days a week is worthless. And Erin Grace, the lady that runs this, she was just so pissed off and hurt and just like, how the hell could you say shit like that and make us sound even worse, useless, like we're not helping anybody that deserves it. But it's a lower caste of people.
Right.
It's people they don't care about. They're not taxpayers, so we don't have sales tax.
So they're excluded.
They shouldn't be.
They're treated like
A lower caste. We're not India. And people in India, the lower caste society, that don't matter anymore. I've talked to somebody who was here making $2,000 a month to send home to his family. It don't matter if you're lower caste. If you have money, you're important. You're somebody. No matter, regardless of your bloodline. Capitalist? Yes.
yeah, going in that direction.
And I don't have a problem with capitalism. I have a problem with people being greedy, mean, underhanded, cruel, and uncompassionate. Hiding behind lines and beating around the bush. I don't like that either. No, I pissed a lot of people off and I need to learn to keep my mouth shut. That's the reception that I got. I mean, yeah, everybody, there are people that say don't give up, but then they definitely have that look in their eye like, even though you don't give up for us, don't fuck it up for us any more than we're already fucked over. That's exactly what I saw too. And I didn't expect it to go the way it did. I've learned a lot. Not only about how to deal with professionals, but how not to help and hurt people at the same time. I really just didn't think through what would happen. You know, I didn't think through all the possibilities, and the possibility that happened, it didn't occur to me that would happen. I trusted journalism. I trusted her to be objective and fair. This whole thing has decreased my trust, broken my trust in a few of the officers around here. I feel like I was lied to. And has broken my trust in the journalism here. I mean, I'm going to stop reading the paper or calling the cops when I need help. It does mean I'm going to deal with those things a bit differently, though. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for the people who this problem is affecting to tell me what they need from me. Well, most of it is that I got out what I needed to get out. And now it's their turn. I said my piece. I got nothing to say again until till November 5th. That's when I get my 3 minutes as a citizen. A housed citizen. Until then, I can work with filling empty bellies. Once again, I'm Dorothy Olson and 127 Washington Street. I was the instigator of the protest down there, and there was an article written called Basic Boiling Point that I wrote a letter in response to. I'm not sure that that'll ever get printed, and I had to change it a bit, but I'm going to go ahead and try to get it out here in these couple minutes. I live in a house. The plan outlined to pass the camping ban at the last City Hall meeting might have been a misunderstanding to anybody who wasn't here. The City Council, you guys passed an ordinance to change it because, from what I understood, the promise of offering those other options for people who fall through the cracks with their animals, you know. And until Uniontown was supposed to open up, that seemed like a legitimate option, you know. It's a win-win. CCA provides tax receipts to local motels, KOA for unused spots. It's a win-win. Everybody
manages to equal out there. Well, because that was a misunderstanding, I proposed that the city may designate a couple of pieces of wooded land near a bus line, as well as a lot for people who are stuck living in their vehicles. With basic sanitation, so we don't have to worry about people pooping in alcoves. It's really gross. And if the city, if the neighbors, we fear fires in the woods, if you're going to have one of these campsites that you will pay for, that you will sign a lease on, that you will, that's your step up into, I have had rental history, because a lot of people don't have this rental history. That would be, help all of us as Astorians have safer lives and more meaningful lives, and validation that they are still people. They're not a lower caste. And it wouldn't be forever. It'd be a temporary solution until suitable housing is built. And then after that, you could use it for tourists. Imagine having city camping. Like, I'm from Wausau, Wisconsin. There's a park in the middle of town where you can camp. Now, in every social class, there are jerks who flick cigarette butts, who litter, who steal, who are excrementally ignorant after a night of excess. And I've witnessed more house locals than I have homeless people peeing in alcoves and putting their cigarette butts out in there. Drunk guys coming out of the bar, I can't make it to the bathroom, there is an alcove, okay, nobody can see me. No, we know it's you guys. If you're here and you know anybody that does that, please tell them to stop. And the ban on camping and the ban on parking make houselessness way harder than it already has to be. A lot of these people are sucking it up, and they're just trying to get back on their feet. And we could give them an option to do so. And when we got the housing built, it's a tourist attraction. Come on and camp in the city woods of Astoria. Thank you.